Hello everybody, and welcome to the Mystery Drawthrough Part 0. All will be explained in due time. Before we begin, there's a little bit of an introduction for the purposes of this stream, which does involve me putting some things on the screen, which may be, if you have a bit of a... if you're of a nervous disposition, sort of easily unsettled, it won't last long, it won't be the whole draw-through kind of thing, it's just purely for the purposes of the first 5 minutes of this stream. Yeah, you may want to sort of look away. You can still listen, just some sensitive stuff going up on screen. It's fine. Just, be aware. Hello. We ended with the camera. We start with the camera. So, before we begin, a little bit of an introduction as to what's going on. Last time we finished the Final Fantasy VII draw-through, we managed to draw every character, every plot point, and every boss in Final Fantasy VII from memory in order, roughly. And that was basically a kind of passion sort of thing, because Final Fantasy VII is a game I've played since I was a child, and I wanted to know how much of it I could remember purely from scratch. That was the idea at the start of it anyway, because, all good intentions and all that. But eventually it became apparent that the fun part of the draw-through was you guys just kind of making stuff up and having fun with the source material and all that sort of thing. So I thought, well, what can we do next that would lean into that? You guys are always going to make it entertaining, but how can I facilitate this? And yes, this is my little glove. So this one is going to be slightly different. Still got the throat thing from last time, apologies. It's going to be slightly different because the rules are going to be slightly different for this one. Last time it was draw everything in order from memory. This time is going to be kind of similar. It's not quite from memory so much as it is without reference, because the game that I've chosen I haven't completed. But that's fine. I haven't seen the whole game, but that's fine because we're not going to be doing the whole game. We're going to be doing a single playthrough of the game. In particular, we're going to be doing your playthrough, because the game we're going to be doing is called The Forest of Doom by Ian Livingstone. This was the third, I think, in the series of Fighting Fantasy Choose Your Own Adventure books, which you will be playing and I will be illustrating. That's the idea anyway. Whether this is going to work, I don't know. I bought this specifically for the purposes of this stream, so I don't really know this story particularly well. Apparently it's a good one. You chose forest last time, you could have chosen city or castle, but yeah, that's the idea. Now, the reason this is episode 0 is because of, well, basically the tagline of the series. You, if you can see, you are the hero. These books are written in second person, by which I mean the protagonist is always referred to as you. Now obviously you're quite a lot of people, so we can't quite have you all in the game. Thus, we need to design a protagonist. We need to design you, essentially. And that's what this stream's going to be about. We're going to design the character that I've got to draw throughout the rest of this draw-through. So yeah, we are many, we are one, we are legion. Indeed. Okay, so we can switch over to things now. Oh, hello, you don't want to see that. Professional. Bingo bongo. So this was just some doodles I had to warm up to try and get used to styles, I mean. Yeah, so that's the basic premise of the draw-through. Try and get a bit more input because you will be playing the game. I will DM it slightly for the purposes of the fact that these games are incredibly hard and I want you to have a chance of winning. So yeah, can we be a bard? Okay, so the basic idea of these games is that you are, according to the book, you are a warrior. You have a sword and you have, armor and a shield and all that sort of stuff, but I can happily fudge it to be anything else. You can be any sort of character. I've just, like I say, I've made a sort of bunch of random classes here, but these were just me testing out different styles and different races and all that kind of stuff. I'm not really too familiar with fantasy races and all that sort of stuff. You have beaten Choose Your Own Adventure books like twice out of a dozen tries. Yes, I will endeavour to try and make it easier for you via possible hints in drawings, which may or may not be subtle. I'll read ahead of where we are, just so I'm sure of what's sort of coming up, and that I can effectively communicate to you what I call bollocks deaths. The ones you can't see coming, which is unfair. And at the very least, you know, work out a mechanic so that if we do quote-unquote die in a fight, we have an opportunity to try again or do something, or, you know, return to an earlier point in the game and lick our wounds or whatever at a cost. Remember when you said you had art block, you're feeling a stream is going to fix that? Well, hopefully. That's the idea. Well, not that that's the idea, but it'll be a nice consequence. Yeah. Draw that good game over screen, absolutely. So yeah, this was just a warm-up. I don't mind what kind of character we have. One thing I do know is that I'm definitely redrawing this orc fencer. I just really like them, they're cool. So yeah. Where do we begin? Well, that just, I suppose, you died, absolutely. One thing we do have to do, actually, is roll our stats, because in this game, you have randomly generated stats. Let me look up the rules. There is skill, stamina, and luck. Skill is your fighting ability, stamina is your energy, / health, and luck is luck. And we need to randomly generate these, so it might be worth doing that first so that we know what kind of character it is we're going to be drawing. So let me have a look at this. What have we got? Should have looked this up beforehand. Okay, skill is a d6 plus 6. Stamina is a 2d6 plus 12. And luck is a... yeah. So you're here late. We're doing... the next draw through is going to be... I should update the title, actually, because I have it ready. Update. Fantastic. We're doing The Forest of Doom, a choose-your-own-adventure book, which chat will be playing, and I will be illustrating your playthrough. So yeah, should be fun. Not entirely sure how to communicate the text in the book, but we'll work it out. We'll work it out. So we have... actually, I suppose I can get the thing up, can't I? I set up a sort of HTML page thing so that we can keep track of everything, like inventory and stats and stuff like that. I'll draw all the items as we go along and all these sorts of things if I have the overlay sort of here. Here we are. These are just sort of test placement bits and bobs. But in particular, I can put the stats here, so, and keep track of it as we're going along. So yeah, so also the other thing that I have installed in my little bot is the ability to roll dice. So, for example, let's work out what our skill is. Boom. Not great. Our skill is apparently 8, because it's a d6 plus 6, so that's, yes. Oh dear, I've given permission to roll for anyone, that's annoying. So yeah, that's our skill. All luck. Luck will actually come in useful because of some mechanics I'd like. Let's work out stamina. Oh, that's pretty good stamina. 9 plus 12 is 21. So stamina 21. So we've got a lot of stamina. We're hardy, but not necessarily strong. Whoops. And luck will be in a second once I've sorted stuff out. You're confused what you're doing. I'm rolling your stats. These are the stats of the character. They will come up on screen in a second once I'm done. Boom. 1. No luck. Wonderful. We'll work something out. It's fine. Right. So, if everything works out nicely, which I need to save the thing, it's fine. There we go. There's our stats. We have 21 stamina, 8 skill, and 7 luck. Is to use the WTF engine to create Soulsborne boss names. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So yeah, yeah, we're not fantastically lucky. We actually got the least possible luck we could. We've got alright stamina, alright skill, but we're very endurance heavy. We've got a lot of health. So yeah. Also we start, I don't know whether we start with 20 gold or just put that in as a number. Doesn't particularly matter. But we do start with 10 loaves of bread. for some reason. So yeah. What kind of bread do we have? Oh, we're not getting into that conversation, are we? So yeah. Hopefully this goes well. Not the best stats, but we can improve those as the game goes on, and you can restore them if they go down. We'll talk about all that later. For now, though, I've got to work out sort of roughly... Okay, so that's as far along as I should. It's a very important question and you demand an answer. How about they're 10 different types? How about that? You can make it up. So yes, what is our character going to sort of start as? A bard kind of makes sense. We do have some skill. Would a bard have more luck? Maybe not. Maybe they're used to getting beaten up. You'll have to run errands, but you'll keep the audio and the car ride. Well, thank you very much for popping along, and we will continue to blather. Yeah, enjoy the errands. Yeah. Can we be a goblin? We can be a goblin. Goblins are fine. Goblins are small and relatively easy to draw. Which is good for this particular purpose, because I don't want anything too detailed. Right. Get a little goblin. You're wary of making too many suggestions. This is a group thing. You can make as many suggestions as you like. Goblin feels like organic and right. For our group, probably, yeah. Is it going to be a girl or a boy? Don't know. This is for you guys to decide. Anyone but Triforce can suggest. Gender neutral, it makes more sense to have it kind of at least ambiguous, you know? Given that this is a representation of all of you. We can go gender non-binary, that's cool. I don't know why I'm working on that particular thing. This is just a rough circle. What's in your pants? A loot. So are we going to go with the kind of goblin bard? Like what sort of shape are we going to go for? We're going to go sort of bottom heavy, top heavy. I've been sort of playing around with sort of more sort of interesting body shapes. Downwards ears, upwards ears. You want to watch him burn? Can we have a beef tattoo? Your current D&D character uses all the pronouns and sometimes switches mid-sentence to mess with people. Fair enough. Downwards ears are cute. Make it cute. We can do cute. That doesn't look cute, that looks terrifying. I've never drawn kawaii eyes anime stuff. Downward ears, but they move in regards to the situation. Oh, okay, so yeah, we can do sort of emotive ears. Can we have piercings? Goblins tend to have some sort of piercings around, don't they? Again, this entire stream is basically devoted to making this one character, so we can spend as long as we like on this. And we can continue this on in the Discord. Also, if this particular draw-through goes well, I may archive it. Because it's kind of sad to have lost the entire Final Fantasy VII one, you know? We've got the drawings, but goblins tend to like shiny things. That is true. So maybe they have a flute or something. See, I knocked out these test ones really quickly, like surprisingly quickly for me. Now it actually comes to doing the proper one, I can't draw. Needs to have a purple star necklace tattoo or insignia. That is true. That is something we should do. Let's get some basic eyes in here. I like the Hey Arnold head. Let's give it a little bit more definition. again, as the draw through goes on, this character will have less and less detail. Probably a bit too big. Also, I just got some random music on my computer and sort of made a playlist that was vaguely fantasy-esque. So, yeah. It's such a clever idea for a draw through, you love it? Well, we'll see how it goes. This might be excruciatingly slow, but hopefully fun. Yeah, for sure a hat. It's my standard hat. When people ask me to draw a hat, there we go. We'll change that, it's fine. Let's get a basic face. I like a sort of slightly pudgy nose. You want them to have a hat or a scarf on their head? A scarf on their head? What don't I like about this? Nose is a bit too big. Thinking maybe actually making their head a bit thinner. No, well, we're working this out. Love the tooth. That's how I denote any orc or goblin race. For having the tooth come out. And or J-Max. Rest in peace. That's the oops all crimes expression. Sure, that's an expression you can interpret from that. Where did the ears come out on a goblin? I don't know. Are they at the top? Or are they at the side? I feel like there should be some sort of crime history with this character. Purely accidental, of course. Actually, I'm going to make this a bit bigger, I think. But anyway, yes, I hope you now understand why I kind of wanted you to be here for the first one, you know? Because this is relatively important, I think. You like a mid-head, personally? We can try that. I think, is there going to be hair involved? Probably, I imagine, but I'm not sure what kind. Yeah, that looks better. All the music crimes. Can you make the lobe part of the ear a bit lower? Sort of. Maybe sort of go sort of down and then up. Pompadour or nothing. We're doing a Julia, draw all the details, then cover them up. Absolutely. I need to know. I need to know they're there, just in case, I don't know, clothes come off or something. I don't know. I don't know what the story is. Throw back to Final Fantasy and give them a ponytail. Maybe. Lockdown? Oh no. Ignore that, never mind the lobe. Okay, cool. It's fine. Like I say, I'll practice drawing this character a few times before we actually start the draw through properly, so I can make sure that they're alright. Um, we lost Grandpappy. It will happen, yeah. A pump and a tail, yes. A pompy tail. Did I know this is also a video game? No, I didn't. I don't know whether they've changed it from the original. I'm going to be using the book, and I'm also going to be ignoring the book, because... yeah. Like I say, these games are very hard. They are explicitly designed for you to die many times, and I'm going to do my best to, you know, come up with alternatives to just immediate unfair death, and give our character an opportunity to escape, if it makes sense, and yeah. You think a shaved side panel? Like a callback to Julia's hairstyle? But then you just like long hair on a gender-neutral character. That makes sense. It's difficult to express gender in a goblin, I feel, personally. Boots? Why boots? But yeah, we can try out lots of different things. Also, we've got to work out sort of clothing and, you know... That's not how rib cages work. It's fine. Leave me be. Like I say, I'm sort of working on more cartoony proportions if possible. I tend to get a bit too rigid with these things. And you know, it's a goblin. Wide of thighs. Legs. Whoopsie doodle, that's not the thing. Pockets, lots of pockets, we can do that. We are going to be picking up a lot of things over the course of these games, or this game, I should say. These games have a lot of items, so which is why I have the inventory on the side of the screen. You've never drawn a goblin in your life, really? I find that difficult to believe. I mean, we could do, you know, could sort of carry that down and then have like shave panel over here. If you want the kind of side hair. Again, these are all experiments. We can do what we will. Let's just keep this as a base and then I can kind of draw on top of it. Okay, so lots of pockets. What's the sort of... You'd also accept an earring. Oh yes, an earring, of course. That's just a hanging human ear. Well, that's quite something. I feel like that adds a bit of a dark backstory in there somewhere. No gobbers at all. Absolutely not. So tell you what, hang on, let me get rid of this. Then just sort of grab this, cut and paste. Just the head. Then I can just sort of do this, like that. I know it looks like I'm just doing things to undo them, but it's fine. They're on different layers now, so I can try out different styles. So we could do, for instance, somebody sort of mentioned the one side shaved thing, where we have like a... Can we be edgy with the bridge piercing? I don't know what that is. I found your hair weakness. Well, evidently that's Mrs. as well. I know you're just trying to keep it simple, but how do we feel about a tail? You could have a tail. Tails are fun because then you have the option to have the tail pick things up. Just the longest eyelashes? I mean, we could do that. Does obviously, to the unknowing viewer, skew that towards being a female, as we know. But females have eyelashes. Not a fan of the hair for the gobbo. Like I said, this is why I'm doing it on different layers. It's the gobbo dress-up game. Why not? Everyone knows males don't have eyelashes. No, absolutely not. But with the one exception, oh, that's a bridge piercing. That is to my paranoid brain, worrying. As with any piercing, my immediate reaction is, what if that gets caught? But I mean, if there is a race that's going to have piercings like that, it's going to be goblins. You know? Whoops, shut up, Photoshop. Caught on what? Caught on... who knows? I did once have a pupil at the secondary school I used to work at, whose name in and of itself is remarkable. Phoenix. Good name. And he just had the biggest eyelashes. I don't know if he was wearing mascara. It's entirely up to him too. But that's the one thing I remember about him. It's just astonishingly large eyelashes. He used to have a nape piercing back of the neck. You have a tattoo yet? No piercings? What's the? I don't know. I don't get the appeal of having a piercing where you can't even see it. Those guys have long lashes if you just look for it. But this was like, this wasn't me looking for it. This was me seeing him from the other side of the room and going, wow. You met a Gabriel Star at uni. That's a cool name. Shall I just sort of whack some clothes on and see where we go? So we wanted pockets, so it sort of makes sense to have a kind of long coat sort of thing. I'm not huge on fantasy fashion, so you probably have to guide me a little bit. Belts seem to be always a good option to go for. Probably doesn't actually have those, does it? It's not a suit. Does that make sense? No, not really. I mean, it have buttons at the very least. So let's just sort of turn that down a bit. Oh, hello, that's the wrong one. Cool. So just draw something with lots of pockets for the moment. Part of you wants more ear piercings, but you wear giant headphones all the time. Aren't headphones, the speakers in headphones, like magnets? Is that not an issue? I assume piercings aren't magnetic. That's probably a bad idea. An ear tattoo? Isn't the thing with the inside of the ear, that the skin, that's kind of where the skin grows out from, so that if you have a dot tattooed inside your ear, within a few years it'll be outside? Because the skin just kind of moves along. The human body's weird, guys. I like kind of fluffy thing, maybe? You used to have a custom piece in your right ear bent to the shape of your ear. Interesting. No, you're very welcome, Octo. And again, if you didn't notice on the Discord, thank you very much for the very lovely message. You have a piercing that by now just refuses to close. It's like Stockholm Syndrome, but with piercings. Fantasy, multiple belts. I feel like if this is a representation of us, there's probably got to be accessories. You know? I mean, we've got the earring sort of thing going on, probably. Whole bunch of those. Again, feel free to suggest alternatives to what's going on, or tell me that something doesn't work, or what have you. Belt. Absolutely. Probably bags of some description. Some sort of shoulder bag or a rucksack kind of thing. I always tend to go sort of satchely when it comes to bags, because it's nice having that diagonal strap, you know? Purple heart charm off the belt, like a deity symbol, maybe, yeah? Purple heart, purple star, something like that. Or do the hymn thing, the what's it called? The thing where it's a heart, but then it sort of carries on into the... You're pretty sure the shop you wanted to go is just like, please don't give us something you want drawn, we want to draw it. Eye bags? I mean, that's just kind of finishing off the eyes, really, isn't it? Which I probably should do. What's this missing? I feel like maybe it's going to make it double-breasted, maybe. Always a fan of a good baggy sleeve. Double bags. I'm sure that'll happen eventually. Did we decide on a tail? We should probably have a tail, yeah. Let's sort of carry the coat on around there, so that then tails can sort of come out. I don't know what kind of tail we want, but... probably big boots. They're new. Hooray, it's raining! You can wear your new coat. Wonderful! Your new witchy coat. Again, any of these particular fashion choices, feel free to suggest something else. This is a community project and I'm just kind of racing away with it because I'm selfish. This we know. You would love this coat in the winter. Hopefully. Tail with fluff at the end? That kind of fluff, or... that sort of fluff? It was like a tuft of fluff at the end of the tail. That can happen. Let's sort of maybe go a bit more sort of... what is it I want to do? Is it literally just sort of that? No, that doesn't make any sense. I kind of have an idea in my head. Coat looking heavy, but that's just you. It's going to be full of stuff. Like, we're going to carry around a lot. Because I did have a quick look at how this book starts. And yeah, we're gonna carry around lots of stuff. You're also wearing over-the-knee socks today. Cool. I've often wondered that, like over-the-knee socks and things like that. Do those socks sort of come in different sizes? Because, like, if you're taller, presumably you're going to need longer ones, yeah? I've just never thought about socks having sizes. Is it just me? You'd rather have satchels? We've got a satchel here. It's fine, and we can have, like, you know, bags coming off the bags hanging off the belt and all that sort of stuff. I'll do this in more detail afterwards. Don't worry, this is just sort of getting the basic idea down in the middle of this canvas. Let's make this sort of more pouchy. Also, if you have any particular soundtracks for games or whatever that you might want to hear in the background of this, do tell me. It's fantasy-esque. Oh, hang on. Please make the fluff match the hair. We eventually end up with, if it's sleek, make it more sleek. If it's puff, make the tail more puff as well. Okay, fair enough. That makes sense. If it's that, then I'll do this on the layer of the hair that I have. That makes sense. So that's kind of more puff. This guy looks like popcorn now, doesn't it? If we're doing this coat, can it be like extra fabric for a large hood instead of fur? Can do. Pomp that tail. Is a hood with fur around it? I mean, we can do that. Like I say, I need to look up the circumstances under which this game takes place. If it takes place during a drought, we might need to change some things. Sure, there's a hood back there somewhere. I don't know how to draw hoods. Let's have... hang on. Let's do this with a sort of general fluffiness. It's because the arm's up, sort of slightly difficult. If it depends on us, apparently it takes place in the middle of a snowstorm. Supposedly, yeah. Like I said, the fur was just... I always like adding fur to costumes because it's just kind of more fun to draw. But we can always take it off. The feet are a bit small, aren't they? Let's go. Come on, we need to get those proportions to really sing that the rest of the body is actually very small. Stretch that out a bit. I don't really know what... do goblins wear boots? I don't know. What if also scarf? Ooh, lots of pictures. Ooh, wow. That seems cumbersome. A shoot, if you will. Will I? Good question. I mean, we can have something sort of... the way I draw it is just going to be like a shawl, really. You have at least 2 votes for that hood scarf, maybe? Yeah. Like I said, we can always try different things. We haven't even got any of the kind of bard stuff on yet. So there's probably a loot. You have to have a loot sort of sticking out back here, or... maybe that's what's on the strap as well. What if also just a regular scarf? Just in the empty space between the neck too much. I feel like having a shawl of fluffy hood on the coat and a scarf. Like, we may come from the tundra, but we're in a forest. And I have to draw this character a lot. This is getting simplified, trust me. we can have like an official drawing kind of postery thing or whatever, but it'll get simplified. There is no empty space anymore. That is a thing, yeah. Actually, if a loop was there, it wouldn't be pointing that way, would it? It'd be pointing that way. Let's get rid of the bag. A loop would be quite big on a goblin, wouldn't it? Be like something like that. I don't know if we're having a loot. I just went with a loot. It would play a fucking recorder, and we all know it. Okay, that's going in one of the pockets. Sort of interesting. I've never drawn a recorder, but we all know what they look like. Oh, look, it's the second Doctor. We're a one goblin band, or a kazoo. Have a kazoo. These are difficult to draw at small scale. They play the recorder but carry a more fancy instrument for the aesthetic. Absolutely. So I think a kind of looty kind of thing would do well. And also gives us good opportunity to do stuff in the game. Again, I'm going to be kind of DMing this. We're going to stick to the script mostly, but when it's fun to, we'll deviate. Which is what we did for the last one. There's no reason we can't do it for this one as well. I don't know how many strings a lute has. That would be the other way around, wouldn't it? Don't mind me. This way. Are you going to enchant your enemies with that beautiful loot on your back? That onomatopoeia. Oh, psych, maybe? I don't know. Whips out recorder. Yeah. So it sort of goes up here. Is it not that big, maybe? Are we going to have the shawl? I don't know if we're sticking with that. Like I say, it's sort of one of the perils of doing a crowdsourced character is got a lot of ideas. Shawl is a bit too much. Maybe it's in the bag. But everything in the bag. We're prepared for any eventuality. Anyway, while we're doing this, what sort of personality does this gobbo have? Are we a particularly adventurous sort of one? Like I say, we're relatively skilled, but we're not too skilled. The jacket feels so basic to you, you wanted something a little more dynamic? Like I say, we can iterate, it's fine. I have a notification, apparently. Don't know. And also once I kind of scale this up, we can... we might as well do that now while I'm here. Let's get a bit more detail going. Idiot criminal. We can do idiot criminal. You feel like they're one of those I'm just trying my best kind of peeps? Yeah, I feel like, yeah. Doing their best, but things keep going wrong. We have no luck, remember that. We are literally the unluckiest we could be. So that's fun. So, yeah, try. What sort of things are we thinking with the jacket? Because this is a fantasy world. We can do any kind of clothing we want. I just went with a kind of simple double-breasted long jacket and then stuck pockets on it. So we can always throw references at me and we can work stuff out. In the meantime, I'm just going to get the basic sort of layered down in some sort of detail. You wouldn't say idiot, accidental, perhaps socially inept a bit, has intelligence in other places? I think, I mean, my general rule of thumb for anybody is that nobody is inherently stupid. They can be stupid in plenty of areas, but everyone has an area that they're good in. You just went away and came back and you feel those eyelashes kind of make it very feminine? Yeah. That is the thing, that eyelashes are used as a shorthand for females. I sincerely hope that everyone who is watching knows the joke, the running joke we have with females, and not that I'm just being weird. Peacoat? Peacoat, what's peacoat? Let's have a look. I'm gonna say, I'm not really the one to be designing clothes. Oh, okay, so sort of high collar kind of thing? Well, then you never encountered an area in which you're not stupid. That's not true. Okay, so still kind of double-breasted thing, just not long, or maybe just sort of have the higher collar kind of thing going on. Yeah, we'll get there once we sort of get into the higher detail area. I want a kind of more defined sort of geometric shape for this head. Is that a good one though? I don't know. Let's do some flips. Feels a bit eye top heavy, really, doesn't it? So let's bring that up. Thoughts? Have a look. I see the word asymmetrical in the thing. Ooh, blimey. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know how high it goes, like up the back. The sort of slit up the back, that would make me paranoid. It's just kind of like 4 bits of fabric sort of stitched at the top. You just thought you'd say you're not wording it right, but it's okay. Look, this is a very much a brainstorming kind of stream. All ideas be welcome. Then maybe just the one. Doesn't have to be physically accurate, it's fine. Like I say, whatever we do, I'm just gonna try and work out a shorthand for drawing it in the end anyway, so... You're used to insane heat in the summer and you're thankful to be in England right now? Well, I mean, it's getting warm here, but I imagine where you come from it's probably more significant. Our weather doesn't really do extremes very often. It's just kind of on-off miserable. Too much. You're loving the rain. You've come to the right place. Got a bloody porter down today over here. Whatever 87 Fahrenheit is in C, not a clue. 30 degrees. It has at least cooled down a bit here for the first time in a while, so maybe these need to be a bit straighter and a bit longer. I think the head's too big now. Again, I know I'm playing with proportions, but it just seems a little bit off. Looks like they're sort of wearing a head mask thing. Does that make a bit more sense? You're used to spending your summer in the 90s with insane humidity. That's things. Well, if 87 is 30.5 degrees Celsius, then my word. Basic shape. Sorry, not paying too much attention to chat. My apologies. That's why you escaped. That's a noble reason for 5 weeks. Kind of thing. You want to live further north? I don't know what that means. Minus 30 to 30. What? Oh, minus 30 is bigger than 30? That's not how maths works. Sorry, I'm not saying very much. My apologies. You'll have the teeths. The goblin teeths. Right, okay, we can use this as a base, that's cool. Clothes. Should we start with like an underlayer, just so we kind of know what it is we're building upon, because the coat seems to be the bit that's sort of sticking out right now. So yeah, boots are always a good place to start. So we're going to have high boots. High boots are always fun, in terms of like how far up the leg. Or they can be bare feet. We can do that as well. I will have to draw the bare feet, but nonetheless, that is a thing that could happen. Up to the nipples. That's not... They're not boots anymore. Long underwear. Knee boots. Knee boots. Okay, so we can do sort of knee boots. Yeah, definitely high boots. You can go over the knee slightly. Well, over the knee makes it weird when bending, so just at the knee would be good. Everyone's saying knee boots. Do we have a slightly raised heel? We can have a slightly raised heel. I used to have a slightly raised heel on shoes I wore for ages, and then I stopped, and I wore those shoes again, and I was like, how did I wear these? I'm so off balance. I always just go with this kind of like folded over leather thing. And I always do it like skin tight, which is not how boots are usually. Croc boots. What are you trying to make me draw? I'll get the base down again, so we can draw. We know what we're drawing over. So if we have a slightly raised heel, I'm going to have to angle the foot down slightly, that's fine. I remember that these are quite big feet. I feel like even bigger, like there's something about... If we've got the big head, we need the big feet, probably also big hands. I'll go back and change that. But it just always looks wrong, because that's not how proportions work. And I can't draw feet, which doesn't help. What if boot with a buckle? Are we just creating Gobbo as Sonic? What? I don't think so. Almost typed Sonic, yeah. Sonic with a K. Rest in peace. They all canonically died, yeah. That's what the end cutscene said. All of the humans died. A couple of buckles. Again, the detail will be reduced as time goes on. Also, let's get a nice contouring thing going on there. Let's just get the basic shape down first. Why, again, why is it that now I'm doing the design on the stream? I've lost all ability to do things accurately and quickly. Very interesting. So, okay, this is basic shape. Bigfoots. Like that. And then, like... that didn't work at all. We also need a name for them, that is the thing. Names are somewhat important. If you've ever met a human being, you may know this. You may have observed, if you're particularly observant. That some humans have names. This, of course, isn't a human, so there's no guarantee, but nonetheless. Sonic, we've got... yeah. How much fan art is going to be made of this gobbo? Your guess is a lot. Well, you know, we'll see. Who knows how long they'll even last. In the Forest of Doom. And I'm sure your guys' drawings will be a lot better than mine, but I want to get something down at least by the end of the stream, which is why I decided to give an entire stream just to character creation, because I thought you guys might like to get involved in that process. You love these boots? Good, they're the only ones I know how to draw. I really should sit down with like a catalogue and just try and draw people in different outfits. Perspective would be nice. Contours. All else fails, contour. Contour, contour. And flip. Always flip. Good, good, good. Good to know. Slowly but surely. Understanding. That comes out like that. And then the heel comes down like this. And the rest of the boot. Long. I'm bad at strange curves in perspective, turns out. Basic geometric shapes I can get. Strange curves? Not for me, I'm afraid. Could be an undershirt hood? Yeah, we could go like 12th Doctor and have the hoodie underneath the jacket. Play the Pinterest outfit game. What, just sort of pick a random outfit on Pinterest and draw a character in it? Or... that was one of my fun things about my character Malachi, is that his sense of fashion is very different from my own. So it's always fun trying to come up with costumes for him because he's weird. Don't forget to save your work. Thank you. Always helpful reminders. Okay, so we've got the big boots, which are comparatively extraordinarily big. Sort of. The theory is that Pinterest can't build a bad outfit. I'm sure I can disagree. So you search pants, then shirt, then hair, and it'll be goo. Cool. Oh, we're back in Majula. Not sure what we're going to do for the rest of the outfit. The rest of the under outfit, I'll just sort of put basic sort of shapes in place for the moment. It's always good when you've got sort of very long boots to have them something baggy going into them. You hate Pinterest? Blur, someone redo the code and then we'll talk about it. I know Pinterest's navigation system isn't fantastic, is it? You were trying to think of a name. You wanted to start with a P for Purple Star Gang, and then your brain went to Pal. Oh, Pal. It could be Pal. more things. Ooh, look at that. Cool. Pale Pip. Pip just reminds me of that Bleach Shop of Stuff. Was it the Bleach Shop of Stuff? No, Bleak Expectations. And then there was the Bleak Old Shop of Stuff, or whatever it was, which was the TV version. It was a radio comedy, don't worry about it. Pal Poutine. So we could have like a, yeah, just kind of hoodie kind of under thing. Always, if you want fantasy, have the crisscross stitching on the tops of your characters. Okay, and then it's probably, we could have, again, this is something I always quite like in designs. Again, feel free to correct me, but to have like the sleeves of whatever's underneath the jacket to be coming out further than the sleeves of the jacket. I always like that. I always like that on myself, let alone drawing characters. It's fun to draw and it's fun to have. Oh, more images. That's just Tifa. We could have a Tifa short skirtish thing going on, maybe? Couldn't you? A skort? Have a skort. That sounds like a species, but in these games. / fantasy in general. Maybe bring the boots down a little bit. For the purposes of making room for the skort. And also the bending of the knees, which is handy. So yeah, I've got to bring that picture back up now. Right, so what I mean, it is just a pair of shorts with kind of like a loincloth over the front and a cape at the back. A butt cape. Then we can have the thing where you can sort of see the knee. See that knee beneath the skort. All their pals will come together to form the skort court. Got a lot of lore about this character already. And then we've got this sort of groin tabard. This kind of looks sufficiently fantasy-esque. Can make this work with a good colour scheme. Again, I'm putting a lot of detail into what will eventually be covered up, but gotta have a butt cape. That ass is super. Sorry for the feigned accent. That's not symmetrical. A bit cowboy-esque, but no, it's purple. And glowing, probably, because this is fantasy. And anything that is purple glows. All that's purple will glow. I can draw a star. It's fine. Going to be a circle around the star? Yes. We'll do the sort of general buckle. Looking a bit sheriffy, but it'll be fine. And then a little plate underneath it. Now it kind of looks like a wrestling belt. Move it to the side, fantasy. They stole it from a sheriff. Ooh. Sorry, not communicating very much right now. My humble apologies. That's fine. What music is this? What, right now or what was playing before? I'm not really paying attention. So at the moment it's White Palace from Hollow Knight. Prior to this was... I don't know whether it's prior or subsequent. I don't know what order this goes in. Either Fiddle Solo from Stronghold or Darkened Depths from Morrowind. Let's have a listen. Oh, neither apparently. It was Mechanical Shelter from The Inner World. Is it this one? Was this the one you were talking about? I don't know. We'll leave it playing, why not? What if thigh holster for recorder? Oh, that's not a thigh holster, is it? That's a belt. You read that as thigh lobster. Recorder, but a didgeridoo. A didgeridoo would be like... quite significant on a goblin. They're big things. The image of a live lobster strapped to a thigh. There's a drawing for you. Like a sword scabbard? So I don't really know how to draw one of those. I've just realised. It's a different kind of thigh pinch, really. It was this song, and thank you. Cool. Yes, this is from, there's a game called The Inner World, which I haven't played, but I do have the soundtrack for. I should play it at some point. It's a nice little point and click, apparently. They released a sequel not that long ago. I mean, how much of this are we actually going to include when the coat's on? Are we going to have the coat? The coat doesn't have to be buttoned up, so we can have things open. A recorder, but broadsword style. What does that mean? You guys, you love combining tiny things with massive things. Which I get, because it's funny, but I don't know how to draw that. I thought you were doing layers so we have normal and then like bundled ready to hit the road with all the gear. We could do that. I mean, but I was thinking like if we're going to have a coat over the top, we could just do it sort of like that. And then you can see what's underneath it, you know? Counterpoint second boot recorder. I haven't drawn the first yet. Make it big and strapped to their back like a massive recorder. A bass recorder. There probably is a bass recorder. Battle axe, but the blade is a recorder. Wasn't there a thing like that in a... like an axe that could be played like a flute? What was that? That was a thing. Also, we can get some, like, get the hair going here as well. Hair and accessories for the head. We can focus on that for a second, just so we get it sort of up and running. Where was the hair before? Old sketches. There's the base we've got. That's what we're doing there. So there's the hair as it was. Are we sort of happy with the pomp? We can do something different. We can try lots of different things. Try and label some of these layers. And this was... there. That was that. A Battlelock Arena. What? There is a bass recorder. Not surprised. I'm not tired of your shit. I'm just trying to work out how to do it. Like the poof pomp. They have a cane, but it's actually a bass recorder. It has a separate mouthpiece, or you couldn't hold it. Okay. That sounds significant. Let's just sort of get this in place for now. Just remember, we will never again see this character in this level of detail. Or should we just sort of carry it on as it was before? No sort of connection. Keep it simple. Another gameplay is a game. How many recorders can you put on a gobbo? Only so many. If there is a point in this game where you need to have a musical instrument, you need to have picked up a musical instrument to do something, I'm gonna be surprised and slightly disappointed that there's no way I'm gonna be able to talk out of that one. Can we canonically say that, given that this is that our goblin friend has no luck, that the reason they play the recorder is because, you know, when all the musical instruments were handed out at school or whatever, everyone else took all the good ones and they were just, they ended up with the recorder and they just kind of took it as their own thing? More things. I mean, I could be here for 3 hours drawing cool hairstyles. We'll have a record. Let's stick a recorder in here. I'm doing this on the wrong layer. It doesn't have to be that detailed, just an inspiration. We did try the half cut thing, but I don't think people were sort of on board for it. What's it called? The undercut. The asymmetrical undercut hair, because I think I still have it somewhere. There we yeah, kind of this sort of deal. You like the proof bomb because it's so simple when the rest is so detailed. I don't know. I don't know. Counterpoint bald. Oh, we've got to have some hair somewhere, I think. You was just going to say, what? Shillelagh recorder? What's that? One second. Sorry. Nope. Can't see anything. Don't be prejudiced against the hairless. I will soon be one of them. They look too much like the egg from Dragon Age that you hate. One long, thin braid from the temple only. I mean, we could have a braid on this design. Whoops. We could have a braid going into the back. Little ponytail-y kind of thing. Or we could have something sort of going down. I don't know. You're just saying things at this point? I mean, that is chat, isn't it? You're against rat tail? That's fair enough. You say as if you have any power whatsoever. You know, it's all good things. I'm listening. Well, I'm trying to listen to you all. What do you have against rats? Theoretically, you'd have something against the people who take the tails of rats and stick them on the back of their head. If you're going to do a braid, do a French braid that follows the hairline. So what does that mean? That kind of... What on earth did I just draw? I'm on the wrong layer as well. Doesn't matter. You've never met a person with a rat tail that wasn't a massive douche. I mean, I kind of had one. Sort of. It was sort of in between a rat tail and a ponytail. It's kind of an accidental rat tail. I'm a semi-douche. Probably. Well, back then, probably, yeah. What if Friar Tuck? That is a good question. What if Friar Tuck? That just looks like a crown of thorns. Sort of difficult to do at this angle, really. Let's just do it around there. Yeah, look, it's a balding middle-aged man. It's fine. I think the pomp's fine for the purposes of what we're trying to do. Premeditated rat tail. What if just fluffy fringe? What if, hear me out, what if one single big hair? Well, like that Peter Serafinowicz sketch. Wrong link. Did you not want to share with us the John Cena recorder vine? You can always have sort of... I think this is simple enough. We can have accessories elsewhere. Do we want, Pomp is good for power. I think this is, yeah, this is perfectly acceptable for what we're going. 4, we'll sort of, I'll stick a couple of loopy earrings in there because that's pretty standard. Have some nice accessories. If you have any particular pieces of jewellery you want to include, by all means, tell me. Are we going to go with the eyelashes sort of thing? Like I say, we can. Don't know if we want to, but we can. Give them the Alex Louise Armstrong. I don't know who that is. Alex. So like. That's the one. Nailed it. Cool. We win. That it be. I don't think we're gonna go with that, unfortunately. We'll stay safe. I'm gonna rock myself to sleep tonight. No, I'm just gonna have executive power. You have the bridge piercing there. That's fine. I'll always forget to draw it, but we'll put it in. 1 eyelash on each eye, we can do that. Sort of like a kind of eyelinery sort of thing. Just accentuates it a bit more. Like I say, we're not really going to get into colour because these drawings are generally going to be monochrome, but we can do colour. Like when I do like an initial sort of source drawing of this, I will add colour and then put it in the Discord, and then you guys can critique colour choices and all that sort of stuff, or you can mention colours now, and I'll try and remember. I like that as just the sort of the one. Don't overdo it with the eyelashes, but they're there. Bit of femininity. It's all cool. Two bridge piercing? Nah, just one. We made an emo. No, an emo would have that sort of hair. You know? We punk edited a gob. That's fine. We can have a punk gob. Which, let's face it, with goblins isn't too difficult. What if snakebite piercing or whatever they're called? That's the sort of. So I'm not sure how they. I mean, you could just do the 2 dots like that, but I've seen ones like that. And yeah, under the lip, sort of. Just draw the mouth again. 3rd time I'm drawing this. So yeah, just rest assured, when we actually start this draw through, it should go a bit faster than this. I just wanted to sort of have this as its own thing. I have no idea how long it's going to take us to get through the story. This story does actually give you the option, which is very kind. Not all of the games do this. For you to, if you don't succeed, there is an option for you to kind of start from the beginning with all your stuff, kind of like New Game Plus, and then have another go. You'd also accept a forehead tat. I mean, there's got to be a tattoo somewhere, surely. But I don't know exactly where. I feel like back there. That says damaged. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, just one. That'll do. Okay, let's sort out these hands to make them bigger.
That wasn't necessary of you, but you have my thanks.
Thank you for following. Wells and Day Morn. It's very kind of you. Apologies for not necessarily explaining what's going on here, but thank you nonetheless. So for anyone who may possibly have joined a little bit late, we are beginning with a draw-through, i.e. a illustrated playthrough, of The Forest of Doom by Ian Livingstone, a choose-your-own-adventure book. And this is going to be our player character. Pal, I believe is the name so far. I loved Mum. No, that's the thing. A lip tattoo that says whoops. How many fingers does Goblin have? I don't know. I just kind of instinctively drew all, but we can do 3. So far, you've named them Pal, but we could go for another name. I kind of like Pal, but I'm perfectly happy to have more suggestions. Open to alternative answers. You usually go with 3 fingers and the thumb thing look. Gives it that creature vibe. Okay, cool. That makes my job a bit simpler. I tend to group the middle finger and the ring finger together anyway in terms of poses because that sort of feels natural. So let's see if I can... Because I usually don't do this, so trying to get it to look right is going to be interesting for my personal standards. Oh, we all coming up with fantasy spellings of Pal, are we? For some reason, I'm thinking of the Raven, the bust of Pallas. I know it's Pallas and not Pal, but I don't know why that just sort of sprung to mind. The bust of Pal-ass. So, Pal's got big hands. With 3 fingers. That was the weird thing drawing Abe from Abe's Odyssey, was the whole 3-finger thing, actually. Less big, more long, slightly. Okay, I think this is sort of fine for the underlayer. Underlayer. Arriba. P-A-L, yes. P-A-L? What? Pal? Always good to have an apostrophe in there. That looks a little bit like it's from Stargate. Reminds you of the Razia's Shadow Musical's character Palace. I don't know what those words mean, because I am an uneducated fool. I like how, like, if you just sort of look at this, you got this kind of relatively clean line work and cartoony sort of feel to it, and then you go down here and everything's sort of sketchy and rough, and there's lots of wrinkles and details, and I'm inconsistent. Phenomenally absent of luck, that's sure. That feels appropriate. I also like how I'm doing everything over this side of the canvas when that side of the canvas is obscured by the overlay for the stream, which I can't see. So I'll do everything over here, just to reinforce the notion that I should. That's an interesting spelling. So let's have this as our head, I think. Yeah, that's the head stuff. Cool. That'll do. And maybe they change the spelling every time they write it to keep people guessing, or they change the spelling every time they write it because they don't know how to write. Reminds me of Ral, which is a name from a fantasy series. Wasn't Ral Dahl's name sort of unusually spelled like that? Dahl is spelled like that. It's Roald Dahl. Yes. They can't remember. Absolutely. That sounds about right. Yeah. Whoops. Let's get the head back in. I'd say, how about we just sort of try and have, you know, a typical sort of billowing coat. Again, I don't know the circumstances under which this story begins. We may have all our stuff, or we may be ambushed and lose all our stuff. Who knows? Looking a little 13th Doctor-y here. Let's go for that sort of unusual shape that Try was leaning towards. So like almost petals of a flower, as opposed to, I don't know, petals of a squirrel. Roald Dahl, that's it. Make that gob illiterate. I feel like I'm going stereotypes by making a goblin illiterate, which is the sort of thing. That was the thing I wanted to do with the. Hang on, give me a sec. The thing I wanted to do with these like original designs here. I moved all of those for some reason. Was I wanted to try and go against some stereotypes. So we've got this like, you know, orc fencer with sort of nobility to it, and this sort of dwarf piper who's jumping around and having fun, and this old man with a sword in his cane. Yeah, elf spear lady. I don't know. It's just coming up with different stuff. He may not have luck, but goddamn, he studied. Yes, it's yeah. That was going to be your original reason, but since it's a reflection of these lovely peeps, you didn't want to call them illiterate. This isn't a you manifest. This is just your player character. It would be nice to have elements of you in this character, but it doesn't have to be a full reflection, you know? Whoops. No, Photoshop. Stop. And you don't want to be making fun of people who are actually illiterate? It's not making fun. It's not a joke that they don't know how to spell their own name, it's just a thing. Like, what do you do under those circumstances? When officials ask for your name to be written down, you're like, I don't know. You do like the idea of them having a PhD in something useless? I feel like that's a personal attack. Weird is illiterate? That's true, yeah. Let's get... Is the music still playing? It's very quiet if it is. Oh, I turned it down a bit too much, I think. Let's turn it back up a tad. Our Gobbo only speaks in GIFs and Vines. That'll be difficult. They did study performing arts, that's fairly useless. I also studied performing arts. This is still a personal attack. That was my main subject in secondary school. Because I finished maths early. They had to make me do something. I wanted to do drama, but... Fun fact, performing arts is... I'm on the wrong layer. They lured me into doing performing arts by saying, oh, it's basically drama, but you get to do other stuff as well. And guess what? Bugger all drama. It was all bloody singing and dancing. Open their mouth when it's just a screen. I did once write a character. I used to do videos on YouTube, and I always trying to come up with other characters I could play with my very limited acting range. And I came up with this one, Legion, I think I called it, which was like a motorbike, somebody in a motorbike helmet, but projected onto the front of the motorbike helmet were just snippets of media, and they would speak entirely in quotations. And I wrote an entire script, an entire half-hour script of this thing where this character would just reply using quotes from TV shows. And I just insert the clip into it. I never made that video, but I have the script. It was a fun exercise. You refused the singing and dancing and made it all about drama and performing characters. Good for you. I didn't have the I didn't have the guts to carry that through. The problem with the peacoat thing is now we've got the hood underneath, it doesn't quite work. Oobs is doing the best crimes in Discord. I'm gonna have to look. What's going on? Ooh. See, Oobs is just going to design all of the other characters. You can design all the villains and all that sort of stuff. By the way, just a quick question: has anyone actually played the Forest of Doom? If so, I would ask possibly not to sway the voting when that comes around. You're a Lord of the Rings kid? Okay, that's fair enough. Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. Nice combination. Good trilogies. Oh, we have a Forest of Doom thing. Anyway, yes, coat. This is the basic sort of structure of the coat that we have thus far. Feel free to sort of correct anything. We can grab these and turn this down a tad so that we can draw the coat over the top. Yeah, I feel like the sort of collar thing is not gonna work out too well. Patches on the elbows, I always like doing that. Don't have to, but again, I'm making this difficult for myself. We're gonna stick with the lots of pockets thing. What are we doing? That's a neat idea, like Bumblebee talking through songs. What? Oh, I read too far back in the conversation, and now we're back in old things. This coat is not new. You have to draw a pocket or two. Yes. We did do Oliver. Guess who was Mr. Bumble? Of course it was me. It was the fat kid. So yeah, that's sort of got to go under the robe, or the hood, I should say. I think this is just the Morrowind level up music. I don't know why.
That wasn't necessary of you.
Oh, and the alerts
But you
are under
have
the
my
thing.
thanks.
Oh no, the alerts are being cut off. Oh no, there we go. Yeah. Cyan Pride. Thank you for following us. Very kind of you. No. It's very nice. Why did nobody tell me that the alerts were under things? So where am I going to have to put things? Let me just fix all of this. Give me a second. Give me a secondo. That's fine. That just goes there. I think that's everything. The alerts are fine. Everything's good. Everyone has to do Oliver. It's a rite of passage, of course. The main problem with doing Oliver, though, was that I was Mr. Bumble, and my singing range is quite high. I do not have a low voice. So they had to pitch it up a bit. It doesn't quite have the same gravitas, you know? Boy for sale, I'm talking about. You didn't tell you because you're evil. I mean, some of you are. Also, you're bad at Twitch. I mean, you don't have to be good at Twitch. I have to be good at Twitch, or I have to be not bad anyway. You played this Thenardier in Les Mis. I know nothing about Les Mis. I saw it in London once. I saw it in London, not that far away from where they showed the opening shots of that Watch Dogs game. I don't remember anything about it at all. It's just, that was just a thing that happened. It's a bit like The Tempest. It's just, boom, gone. You've never acted in your life? You're pretty bummed we didn't have drama class. I mean, it is a luxury. It's not like it's an essential that every child in the world should have. But it would be nice, you know? I reckon kind of softer, sort of, almost like butterfly wings. Lapel. Not lapel. What am I thinking of? Also badges. Pins and badges, because of course. You can't imagine being good at it. It's an odd thing as to who's good at what, and certainly an odd thing as to who has range in things. I don't have particularly good range in acting, certainly not in voice acting. But I like to think when I do act, I can be semi-convincing at the things I do know how to do. But you never really know until you kind of try. It's an odd thing. You have acted once for your primary school musical, and you really enjoyed it. But you really get into, you really get into it. You would have taken, you would have to take the initiative, and you are shy and anxious, Babby. Okay, to really get into it. I can't speak. I've lost the ability to read. It's just vanished. You'll get to practice voice acting with this project. That is true. We did a little bit of that in the Wapo stream. So that was that happened. Dancing on stage is overwhelming enough for you. Having to talk will be way too much. Dancing is, because we did, obviously with performing arts we had to do dancing, and I used to like dancing. I used to enjoy it quite a lot, but as a part of a self-assessment thing at school, the teacher had us learn a routine, which was fun, and then perform the routine in front of a camera, and then watch the routine back, so that we could self-analyze and see, you know, how to improve and all that sort of stuff. It's perfectly good. And I had about 10% of the physical coordination I thought. I thought I was putting in a lot of effort and a lot of enthusiasm, but boy did I just look like a gorilla, just flailing around. And it was so heartbreaking, and I've never wanted to dance since. It's just such a discrepancy between what I thought was happening and what was actually happening. Oh dear. No one else cared, they were looking at themselves, but... I got top marks though, because you can only really grade me on effort. I too would have cried if I had any connection to my emotional systems back then, which I didn't. You had to do the same, it was such a horrible thing to have to do, now you hate cameras because of it. I mean, it's kind of a similar thing to like hearing your voice back when it's recorded. But obviously sort of slightly different. You only feel these things internally, and to see them or hear them externally is a bit of a jarring experience. Okay, so we got that. Let's go to here and remove some details. And by remove, I mean just temporarily cover up. We can always bring them back. Why is that not working? Because it's the wrong layer. Here we are. I don't know if we're adding the loot on the back, but that would be your nightmare. Your friend told you you look cute while dancing, and you was like, that face. Cute as in, it's cute that you tried. It's, yeah, it's difficult. You want to draw, pal? You're more than welcome to. You want to go back and watch those videos from when you were younger for nostalgia, but you hate seeing how bad you was, Am. Yes, that is a thing. Listening back to my old music is a tough one. But yeah, I too want to see Mrs. Drawing of Pal. Then again, I want to see Mrs. Drawing of everything. So, anything else we're missing? I mean, there's a lot of accessories going on here, but Mrs. Drawings are amazing. We know this. We hold this truth to be self-evident. And a lot of that old Stronghold music in the background. I feel like I should play Stronghold on stream. I mention it enough. I'm not good at it. It's a real-time strategy game, and I'm terrible at those, but nostalgia. Just Miss Amazing. Yeah, I feel like the just is doing you a disservice. It's more than just. Nope, even more Stronghold. That's not how that should go, is it? Because it's supposed to be... the contour's sort of supposed to carry around, and this is just supposed to be another... Tell you what, let's actually put that in, just to make it clear. And then the pocket should go sort of that way. That, because it's concave. Quite match up in height, but you get the idea. No, stop, let's not. Well... Do not resist the compliments, miss, you cannot escape them. I've learned this. Over time, I've learned this. Change the subject. You recently discovered the music from Sea of Thieves. Very piratey, but you like it. Cool. Good stuff. That doesn't make any sense, does it? Let's sort that out. one. Accepting the compliments is easiest escape with this game, yeah. Sea of Thieves has actually become a really good game. I've heard that. I've heard that it was quite lacking in anything when it launched, but it's slowly, as most games tend to be nowadays, it's slowly becoming a full game. They tend to release it when it's unfinished and then just add stuff. Or you could just hide the chat, that would also escape them. Look, you'd only escape temporarily. For with compliment equivalent pitchforks, we shall hunt you down and make you feel good. Patch, always like a patch. We don't have a bag or anything like that, but we've got enough pockets, so it's fine. Crow's on brand again. We will always haunt you. Yeah. It released with perfect mechanics and very pretty, but nothing to do. Now they've added so much content. Because it's like, I was sort of looking up on that Fallout 76 thing, and it seems like companies really like to release engines and then build a game in it slowly. You know what I mean? Like they just give you the sort of basic framework in which fun can be had, and then slowly build up the actual building around that framework. It's an unusual system. I suppose it kind of started with Minecraft, but Minecraft is a general creative and construction game, so it works with that because you don't need much. I don't know. If people have it, you would be so down to pirate it up with you guys and girls. Isn't it like exclusive to the Microsoft Store or something like that? Which I'm not against because Steam has a bit of a monopoly right now. Somehow, in this particular instance, Microsoft is the underdog. Sort that out. Minecraft was also made by a tiny dev team, unlike 76. That is true. 76 was made by a world-renowned, very large, extremely profitable company who have constantly made games that don't work, but have stuff in them that hides the fact that they don't work. But they forgot to put that in, that one. And people noticed that it didn't work. Anyway. I could go on about that for ages, but I'm certainly not the only one. So, yeah. Yes, Sea of Thieves is Microsoft exclusive, but you can cross-play with PC and Xbox. Okay, cool. That's nice. It might be worth looking into. It seems like it very much seems like a multiplayer game. It's probably not going to be that fun for sort of single player for me, personally. But it might be worth, you know, if I ever get around to getting it, it might be worth playing with you guys. I would like to do more games with you guys. I know we've done Jackbox and things like that, but something sort of more specific. Don't know. We'll work it out. We'll work it out. Even if it's just on Discord and not on stream. But, yeah. It's a very good co-op silly game. Good. I worked out what you meant. I assumed you didn't mean Sully from Monsters, Inc. Can we also do a draw pile again? Yes, we should do one of those. That was fun. Because that was going to be a stream, but then I forgot to stream. So... But we can do it on Discord, and we've got more people now. So, for those of you who don't know, Drawpile is a program where there's one canvas that multiple people can draw on simultaneously. And it's just, yeah, it's very simple. You just download the program and just connect to a server that someone set up, and bingo bongo, everyone can draw. But with draw games this time around, I did plan ideas for doing games last time, but we just kind of drew stuff. It's kind of fun. It happened organically, and I was far too embarrassed to say anything because this is the first time I'd ever heard any of your voices. But yeah, this is the end of the stream. This is our character, roughly speaking. I will cartoonify it in due time. But yeah, this is our bard. It's a little difficult to say. This is our pal. That's what it is. A happy Gobbo friend. 76 had a disastrous Rust release, but has since turned into quite a good game. But it should have been released in the state it is now. I know, I don't know, it's an odd thing. Plamps carried that conversation, and you're so happy she did. She did, and that's great, because Plamps is great. You still have some of those drawings saved, like your purple stocking ghost. I made weird things. I only drew jokes in that entire thing, like the Luigi board and the Diglett. The symmetrical Diglett. Pal is good. We'll see how Pal does. Whether they're successful or otherwise. The lack of luck is disconcerting, but also the lack of skill is also disconcerting. Not sure stamina will see us through. Stamina's helpful, but it's really skill we needed. And yeah, we'll work something out. Like I say, I'm going to DM this a bit. I'm not going to go exactly verbatim for the book. Because in particular, we're probably not supposed to be a goblin in the book, but we'll work it out. I'll work out like a second chance mechanic so that we don't have to die straight away, because this book is difficult. Yeah, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. I will try and plan ahead for the next stream, which will involve... I've just realised what the next stream actually involves, because I know how this book starts, and that's going to be nuts. How's that going to work with the... I don't know how that's going to work. But we'll start the game next week. So, yes. One way or another, I'm going to find you. I'm going to get you. Get you. Let's not die. We'll attempt to. Or we'll attempt not to, more accurately. Yeah. Good criminal hero, yeah. You'll join voice chat next time and watch the art. Maybe not able to draw. You were too shy first time, but yes, maybe. Ability has nothing to do with it. You do what you wish. If you're, if you don't wish to draw, that's fine. No one's going to force you, but you are more than welcome to, of course. Very happy to catch a stream again. You all are great. You're great for being here, and yeah. Thank you for watching / listening. Because your errands. Did the errands go well? Hopefully. Yeah, let's go back to the thing. I need to change this now that we know what the draw-through is. Hopefully you guys like this idea. Hopefully it works out well. Hopefully the reveal was good. You had no idea how long I've been planning that opening spiel. But, yeah. Such a great idea. Really look forward to starting your adventure. Hopefully it works. I like the idea of this, but we'll see. Better than all of E3. I mean, it's a low bar. Except maybe Nintendo. Nintendo knows what they're doing because they don't do it live. They make a video and release it, which is fine. Face. Did I say thank you, Octo? I think I said thank you. Anyway. It's a really good idea. You've seen it done by a couple of other streamers. It's really good fun. Well, hopefully we can live up to that idea. Again, I'll try and bypass some of the nonsense in these books because they're not really intended for this purpose, but we'll see. Yeah. Thank you everybody for coming along. Bit of a weird stream, but it's for the purposes of... Stop rolling dice. But yeah, it's for the purposes of actually starting next week. I don't know how quickly we'll go through it. I need to make it so that only mods can do that, really. Or just me, or I can specify. I just had a thought, and I'm not going to say it out loud because you'll explore that thought and might crash my thing. I need to end the stream. Thank you everyone for coming along. It was very nice. We have the next stream is on Saturday. Bingo Bongo, XCOM. And then Sunday, wildcard, might be the long Dark Souls stream. Might be. I'll work it out. I think it's supposed to be relatively cool, so I'm not going to burn to death, or not burn to death, boil to death. Well done, Crow. Well done. Natural 69. I think that sums up Crow, doesn't it? That's what I was expecting. Expecting somebody to try that. Thank you, Ragdoll. I need to end. I'll turn off the bot if you keep doing this. Thank you for coming along. Oh, God. There's another 69 in there. I do see a 69. Right. Oh, there's two. There's two 69s. Is XCOM next? XCOM is next. I can't even remember what we were doing. We just started some. Oh no, we were doing the escort mission, weren't we? The to get the new guy. And that was going relatively well, I think. Yeah. Remember to restrict our access next time. I'll endeavour to. I'll endeavour to. Natural 69 is your new band name. Was it Nat 69 or VAT 69? Because I think that's an alcohol. I think it's a whiskey. New guy who threw away his gun. Yes, strange man. Strange man. I assume it ran out of ammo, but there's no evidence to that. Yes. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Sorry, I got distracted just reading chat. I thought I was on Discord for a second. So I said I'm gonna download these streams. If this Drawthrough is fun and actually goes well, I'll archive them so people can actually watch them. I might otherwise do like a kind of edited highlights sort of thing. I don't know. Because again, it's a bit of a shame that we lost the entirety of the Final Fantasy VII one. But yeah. Also, it gives people a chance to catch up if they've missed out. Yes. Thank you, Chris. You're awesome. This is amazing. Can't wait to see how well you save us from our silly decisions. We'll see. I've never DM'd before. I've never done Dungeons and Dragons. So, yeah. Did anyone download the FF7 streams? I highly doubt it. I've got all the drawings, but the riffing and the improvisation is lost to the ether. Yeah. We jump on the owlbear's face. There may be an owlbear in here. I don't know. Who knows? It's a forest. I've just opened up a page to see what looks like Hagrid. There are some illustrations in here, but I'm definitely going to ignore them because they're not great. Yeah. Stab it with the recorder. I do like this sort of improvisation sort of thing. Anyway, I need to shut up. Thank you for coming along. XCOM on Saturday, maybe Dark Souls on Sunday. I did recently play through it again just to make sure I knew what I was doing. Yeah. Bye forever? That's not how this works. And then obviously back to Parsnipmon on Tuesday, and then this again, we start proper next Wednesday. So yeah, have fun everyone, enjoy yourselves, have a wonderful time. Thank you for being enthusiastic about this project. I was very apprehensive. Yeah, thank you, goodbye.